Khan Shalom Israel Shalom Shalom by his brother Kalakayash, coming back with another prophecy update. Before I get started, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Malak Yahushai, Yahweh, who the world inwardly calls God, Jehovah Yahweh, but the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. It means He exists. Right, the true name of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son is Yahweh Shai. Again, who the world inwardly calls Jesus the Christ, and His name means He the deliverer. The Most High God Yahweh sent His only begotten Son back. Well, sent His Son is gonna send His Son back, Yahweh Shai, to deliver their chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites, which are none other than the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right, scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. But 1 second, Salaki, bear with me 1 second. Let me just put this. Than the Hebrew Israelites, right, scattered abroad. All right, without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. Shalom to the Akim Akwaf, enduring the temptation, waiting for the second coming of Hamashiach Yahushai to establish the kingdom on the earth. And so we could reign with Hamashiach Yahushai. Lord willing, we be of the elect. We are the hopeful elect. So I want to get straight into it. Right, touch on a couple prophecies that have been happening. Lord willing, brothers and sisters been watching. As Yahushai, matter of fact, I'm going to start there. As Yahweh's spirit is the spirit of prophecy. So to be in the spirit, we got to be in these prophecies. So Revelation chapter 19 and verse number 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So to be in the spirit, Yahushai was a prophet. Yahushua prophesied of things concerning to come. He prophesied of the times that we're living in right now. So this is what we're getting ready for. This is how we gauge the times, by measuring these times, by watching the things that's happening upon the earth to see where we're at. Because again, the Lord also said, no man knows the day or the hour, but we got to be in these prophecies to understand how close we are. And that's what's going to keep us in this thing, that keep our hope and our faith built up. Because again, this world is out to distract us. So we got to watch these prophecies so we can stay in tune with the Most High and hasten the day. We got to haste to flee these times. So I'm going to go back to 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Hold on. I forgot where I was. Yes, 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse number, I'm going to start number 17. Ezra said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So Ezra was seeing the times that we're coming into. He's seeing these different laws being passed. He's seeing the different, the storms and the tempests, and he's seeing the prophecies that we're about to go into. And Ezra is saying, who's going to deliver me in those days? But Ezra is here on this earth today, about to be delivered. Do we know who he is? No, but he's here, about to reap his reward. Verse number 18. Selected 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So the Lord is having these prophecies come to pass to amend the wicked for their ways. So we have to be watching and don't get caught up with the wicked of this world. Because this famine, because that we're gonna touch in this famine. The famine is real. The plagues that the Lord is sending, the Lord could, these losing your job is a plague, as affliction. The Lord could take your job away from you. Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So the Lord is gonna start taking things from you. If you're not righteous, you're gonna bug out. Right, verse number 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. This is what I want, verse number 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good and cheap upon the earth, they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what this man is bringing. So I'm going to get straight into it. So as if you may have not known, it's been a week now, maybe a couple weeks, a week and a half. Trump, he signed something called the Genius Act. And it's basically strengthening and making the dollar go digital. It's just the start of the beast system. It's just the start. So they could chip, or however you want to put the C-hip in everybody around the world. So they can mark you. Right? This is the MOTB being instituted in the world. But I'm going to read a little bit of this. This is a fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump signs Genius Act into law. So we're just going to read a little bit of it. And you got to cipher it through the spirit to understand this is the basis being set up for the NWO. Making America the leader in digital assets. Today, President Donald J. Trump signed the Genius Act into law, a historic piece of legislation that will pave the way for the United States to lead the global digital currency revolution. So, I mean, everything's about to go cashless. You can see the things that our elders talked about before us. You can see the things that the prophets talked about. Everybody think everything's is good. Everybody seems as if everything is good because you can still buy, you can still sell. But you think you're in a good case. But, hey, when this dollar get taken away and the next shutdown come down, and then you got to do what you got to do, are you going to do what you got to do for the Most High, or are you going to do what you got to do for this beast? Continuing on, the Genius Act prioritizes consumer protection, strengthening the U.S. dollar's reserve currency status, and bolsters our national security. The Genius Act will make America the undisputed leader in digital assets, bringing massive investment and innovation to our country. So, hey, he's not trying to go away. This devil is not trying to let go. Right? Still speaking as a dragon. What did he say? He says, to make America the undisputed leader in digital assets. Here they are. The other countries is already doing it. The other countries already backed by digital. But now they jumped in the game late, and now they're about to be the undisputed leader of digital assets. That's why the Lord said he had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. And this is what they're setting up. This is what this all is for. Continuing on, protecting consumer in the digital market. President Trump supports the Genius Act because it protects consumers from nefarious actors in financial markets. So you can read all this. It's on the whitehouse.gov. It's something called a stable coin. I'm going to jump down. Ensuring U.S. dollar global reserve currency status. By driving demand for U.S. Treasuries, stable coins will play a crucial role in ensuring the continued global dominance of the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. But it's not going to work, man. They're trying to hang on, but this whore is destined and doomed to be burned. Destined. So this is another, we got to bring out Isaiah 19 again. They can't hang on. Isaiah chapter 19. So they doing all this to have the dollar go digital, to set up stable coins, to have basically so that the Edomites, Salakia, the Edomites, but the Americans, Babylon, if you will, to still be the ruler of all the whole earth. But the Lord said, not so. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse number 15. Hold on, let me find it. I'm zooming right past it. Isaiah 19 and verse number 14. Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. I'm going to read verse 15 too, because we got something pulled up as that as well. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So the Lord is having this man make bad decisions. He's that stable coin is a perverse spirit. All these things, the Lord has entities, spirits on the left-hand side, having this man make bad decisions. Because that stable coin eventually is going to lead. Now, in his mind, it's going to lead to America to still be the global dominancy, if you will. But it's going to be the prophecies. You can't out the prophecies. You can't run from the judgment of the Most High. You just can't do it. But I'm going to go to the next slide. So the stable coin, I'm going to read it. Fact sheet, President Donald J. Trump signs Genius Act into law. But it ain't going to work. Now, I did have it pulled up. But hold on, let me pull up another slide. But I want to go to... Because who's losing their jobs? Because the Lord said no work for Egypt. 300,000. Here it goes. This is from July 17th, 2025. 300,000 black women have left the labor force in 3 months is not a coincidence. This is from MSNBC.com. For decades, the public sector has been a lifeline for black women shut out of economic opportunity. It's no surprise that Trump's federal downsizing targeted them first, explains gender economics Katika Roy. In 2025, a wave of federal downsizing has disproportionately hit jobs in education, health, and community-facing roles, sectors where black women are concentrated. In just 3 months, nearly 300,000 black women left the U.S. labor force. The labor force participation rate has now dropped below that of Latinas for the first time in over a year, and more than 518,000 black women still haven't returned to the labor force since the pandemic began, leaving their real unemployment rate just above 10%. You know why? Because Eve is a damn dragon. That's exactly why. And the Lord spoke about Eve. And a lot of these Eves, man, they have brothers or uncles or even fathers, rather, that told them about this truth, and they rejected it. And they just want to do what they want to do. And the Lord spoke directly against it. This is exactly why. Matter of fact, we in the book, all praise to the Most High, that's the Spirit. This is Isaiah chapter 30. 3. The Lord said, woe to you women that are at ease. Let me get it. I know it's in Isaiah. So I can bear with me 1 second. Isaiah 30. Hold on. What? Salaki, y'all. Bear with me 1 second. The Lord said, woe to you women that are at ease. This app be doing the most. Let me just pull up a let me just get it real quick. Isaiah 32, Salakia. Isaiah 32, and verse number 9. The Lord said, Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. So, hey, look, the Lord is cold. Because Eve is haughty. Eve is proud, man. But the Most High has a way of humbling a man and or a woman. And that's what the Lord is doing. We're living in a time of great humbling. Hey, the Lord, you see when he did the Nebuchadnezzar. So the Lord is coming at Eve. And then Eve is a oppressor. Eve has let, and we understand that's the will of the Heavenly Father, but Eve has let the serpent beguile her again. And to oppress Jake, to oppress a man in his household, that's exactly what Eve does, man. So the Lord is humbling Eve in the times that we're living in. All right, so, hey, look, repent and get right. Get right with the Heavenly Father first and foremost. And kick that proud spirit about you, because, hey, look, today for them Eves, hey, tomorrow for you. So let me go to the next slide. Where I want to go now. Okay, yeah. What I want to touch on now. Okay, let's go to this one. So, this is from the WashingtonPost.com. Mass starvation stalks Gaza as deaths from hunger rise. Israel has severely limited the amount of food entering Gaza, where society is on the brink of collapse. Now, this is from a couple of days ago. I just seen something from today where, because, Trump he's just a damn puppet. So basically he's saying now, let the food in at all, and let every ounce of food in. But they're starving these people out, man. But the Lord, the Most High is not mocked. So same way you led the Israelites into captivity, the same way you starving these Ishmaelites is the same way your children is gonna starve, man. So you must know that. I'm gonna read two paragraphs. After 4 months of a near total Israeli siege, Gaza's few remaining hospitals now have wards for the growing number of malnourished children, whose tiny bodies are just the width of their bones. And we're gonna have to see this. Hey, these are part of the play. We just read it in 2 Ezra 16. We're gonna have to witness these things right here. We're gonna witness this, and Lord willing, we're the righteous, because this is how the wicked is gonna go out. Doctors are famished to the point that they have dizzy spells as they make their rounds, medics say. And the journalists documenting their caseloads are often too weak to even walk to the clinic. So you see that, man? Hey, the Most High, man. This is what we about to witness. This is, let me get a couple precepts come to mind, right? The spirit's heavy in Isaiah. So let me just go to Isaiah 47 and verse number 1. Because America, Babylon, if you will, spiritual Egypt, Sodom, Babylon, their hand is in all this. Now they hide their hand, but their hand is in all this. And what did the Lord say to them? Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks and make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh that pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord, hey, look, they think that they good, but you do all this to a nation of people, it's about to come to you. It's coming to you. It says, the Lord said, your children's going to die by the famine. Your children will now die by famine. Let me get that. Hold on. Jeremiah chapter 18 and 19. Jeremiah 18 and 19. Give heed to me, O Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and turn away thy wrath from them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children, and be widows, and let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in the battle. Now we understand, hey, look, wisdom is manifold, but this is coming to Babylon as well. Whenever you contend with the Most High God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he brings these plagues upon you, whether it be his people or whether it be the oppressors of his people. But this is how the Lord gets down. These are the spirits that's created for vengeance. Let me go to Sirach chapter 39, then we'll move on. Sirach chapter 39 and verse number 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And in the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. What shall they do? They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. And you can see that spirit of famine is not transgressing the Most High's word. And that's coming here. The Lord said, in one day, these plagues is coming to Babylon and Great. One day shortly. As we see the dollar going digital, as we see starvation on the rise, as we see these different laws being passed, it will come here. So I'm going to go to the next slide. I'm going to close that out. What else do we see upon the earth? I'm going to save that one for last. I'm going to close that out. So AI growing rampant, right? So preventing, this again, the whitehouse.gov, preventing woke AI in the federal government. I'm going to jump down to just section 1. It says AI, or artificial intelligence, will play a critical role in how Americans of all ages learn new skills, consume information, and navigate their daily lives. Americans will require reliable outputs from AI, but when ideological biases or social agendas are built into AI models, they can distort the quality and accuracy of the output. One of the most pervasive and destruction of these ideologies is so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. It's always the attack at Jake, man. Them Eves got fired because when you dig into it, it goes back to DEI. All this is going because the Lord is starting to jack his people up. We were nourished for a time. We read Revelation 12. And we were nourished for a time. The Lord was feeding us for a time, but now it's the time. If the Lord's not feeding you, if you're not being fed with this spiritual, this bread, the food alone is not going to sustain you. You need the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is what he's trying to show you. But I'm going to continue on. DEI includes the suppression or distortion of factual information about race or sex, manipulation of racial or sexual representation in model outputs, incorporation of concepts like critical race theory, transgenderism, unconscious bias, intersexuality, and systemic racism and discrimination on the basis of race or sex. DEI replaces the commitment to the truth in favor of preferred outcomes and, as recent history illustrates, poses an existential threat to reliable AI. Let me get down to the point that I wanted. So they seeing, because brothers and sisters are doing all these these visuals of the kingdom, the destruction of Babylon. So it all ramps and reverts back to the famine of the word. For example, one major AI model changed the race or sex of historical figures, including the Pope. So you see, because these images is coming out of the Lord being his true image, which is a so-called Negro, the angels being dark-skinned. So this all attack against the truth, man. And when you really get into it, when you look at it through a spiritual lens, because the Pope's not even a biblical figure. So what are they really talking about? The founding fathers and the Vikings when prompted for images because it was trained to prioritize DEI requirements at the cost of accuracy. Another AI model refused to produce images celebrating the achievements of white people. So you see, even while complying with the same request for people of other races. In yet another case, an AI model asserted that a user should not misgender another person, even if necessary to stop a nuclear apocalypse. So this is crazy. That's how real they taking it. You can't. Hey, read all of this, man. So moving up, let me just get a precept comes to mind. Let me close that out. Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12 from the top. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time shall thy people be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. But I'm going to jump down. And but I don't want to read over it. I don't want to, without breaking it down. These are the times that we're talking about, time like never before. The chief prince, Michael, is going to have to stand up. The chief prince, the archangel Michael, is going to have to stand up for us. Because, the famine of the word is brewing. I'm going to jump down to the verse that I wanted. Verse number 4, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So this AI is being increased, but now Esau, like always, he's trying to control the narrative. He's trying to shut down, and if he's trying to stop the truth from coming out. That's really what it's coming to. He's trying to suppress the truth. But it's too late. It's already out there. The elect is almost woken up. We almost to the times of the elect being waking up, and then the end's going to come. And I'm going to go to the next one. And as we know that the end is coming, I'm going to go to this right here. So it says, the earth is spinning faster, leading timekeepers to consider an unprecedented move. So the earth is spinning faster. And they don't know why. When you read this article, they don't know why. I'm going to read a couple. I'm going to jump around. Earth is spinning faster this summer, making the days marginally shorter and attracting the attention of scientists and timekeepers. July 10th was the shortest day of the year so far, lasting 1.3 milliseconds, less than 24 hours. According to data from the International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service and the U.S. Naval Observatory, compiled by timeanddate.com, more exceptionally short days are coming on July 22nd, August 5th, currently predicted to be 1.34 and 1.25 milliseconds shorter than 24 hours respectively. And they don't know why. Let me go down. Esau always give you an explanation, an answer. He don't know the answer. What is causing Earth to spin faster? The shortest term changes in Earth's rotation, Agnew said, come from the moon and the tides, which make it spin slower when the satellite is over the equator and faster when it's higher or lower altitudes. So that's what he says. Nothing about the Most High. Let me read another lie that he's talking about. This effect compounds with the fact that during the summer, Earth naturally spins faster, the result of the atmosphere itself slowing down due to seasonal changes such as the jet stream moving north or south. The laws of physics dictate that the overall angular momentum of Earth and its atmosphere must remain constant. So the rotation speed lost by the atmosphere is picked up by the planet itself. And that's madness. Because who created the so-called law? Who created the sun, moon, and stars, and the earth? The Most High. Matter of fact, let me get that. What do I want? If thou lose, it's Jeremiah 31. I think it's Jeremiah 31. Now, there's a lot, but this is the one that comes to my mind. Jeremiah 31 and verse number 30. I'm going to get straight to the point. Jeremiah 31 and 35. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day. So who gives the sun? Yahweh. And he said, and Yahushua said, these days will be shortened for the elect's sake. So verse number 35 again. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, so the Most High created through the angels, and Yahweh Shai created the sun, moon, and the stars, and they haven't departed from him. You know why? The Lord gonna tell us, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. So the sun, the moon, the stars, they still go up, they go down, they move. So we're still the Lord's people. And in the midst of all this, all praise to the Most High, a salvation cut came out. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. But I'm going to go to the next slide. Well, Salaki, I got another precept. Matthew 24. Matthew chapter 24 and verse number 22. And except those days shall be shortened. What days? The days we just read about in Daniel 12, a time like never before. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So these days are being shortened for the elect's sake. So it's so important to pray that we are the elect, man. It's so important to pray for brothers and sisters to endure unto the end. That's the only way we're going to make it. Let me jump up and just get it. Matthew chapter 24 and verse number 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to make it to the end. We got to endure all this hell, this affliction, this temptation, the humiliation until the end. Because the Lord, as we can see, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, he's shortening the days for us, man. The hopeful elect. Essentially the elect, but hey, we the hopeful elect. He's doing this for us. What else is he doing for us? Got our enemies starting new wars. Thailand launches, this from CNN.com. Thailand launches airstrikes on Cambodian military targets as Delhi border dispute escalates. So let me play this.
Let's start with the eye chart.
What makes you think I can... Fast.
Video shows civilians running for cover and taking shelter in eastern Thailand after armed clashes broke out in a disputed area along the border with Cambodia. Thailand's military accused Cambodian troops of firing at a Thai army base in the south of Thailand's Surin province. A Cambodian Defense Ministry spokesperson said their troops acted in self-defense after an unprovoked incursion from Thai soldiers. Thailand has launched airstrikes against military targets along their disputed border following the armed clash. The latest incidents have inflamed tensions between the two Southeast Asian neighbors, with relations collapsing to their lowest.
So you see, it's not a place in the world where you could go where there's peace. Because everybody's wicked, and the Lord said no peace to the wicked. So I'm going to read a bulletin, the first bulletin. It says, what have we covered here? Thailand launched airstrikes against Cambodian military targets along their long disputed border, escalating tensions between the Southeast Asian neighbors. Thailand also accused Cambodia of launching attacks into civilian areas. Thailand's health ministry said at least 12 people, including 11 civilians and 1 soldier, have been killed in clashes with Cambodian troops. So a war is on the earth. War is on the earth because you know what? Yahweh is a man of war. It's all leading up to the war that's going to end all wars, which is the war Armageddon. Exodus chapter 15 and 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. And the Lord is bringing war upon the earth. Confusion in many places. So there's nowhere you could go to escape the judgment of the Most High. And essentially, I believe it's backed up. I think Babylon backs up Thailand. So it's really, I believe, it's so they could go to war with China. It's really going into so they could go to war and go ahead and go to war with China. But ultimately, it's going to bring forth this Third World War. That's all what that's all what it's brewing to. That's all what it's getting to. But let me just get that. A sound of battle was in the land in Jeremiah 50. Oh, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse number 22. So it's war on all fronts. You got Russia, Ukraine, you got Israel, you got in Iran, and you got now you got this war going off. And then you got China, North Korea saying they keep gonna invade what's that? What is Kim Jong-un always talking about he gonna invade? Let me see. South Korea, right? South Korea. So it's war in the world. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse number 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Ultimately, what's all these different battles in every land going to bring forth? Verse number 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So eventually, all these wars that's brewing in the world is going to bring the hammer of the whole earth, which is Babylon, America, down to the ground, cut in sunder among the nations. Right, so call halal Yahweh Bashim Shah. Let me go to the next slide. Got a couple more. So what's this guy doing now? This is from PBS.org. So it says, what Trump's orders on clearing encampments forced hospitalization means for the unhoused. So what is he doing with these people? He's really setting up camps and putting people in here. People have been homeless forever. But now, as we get drawn nigh to the end, now they're setting stuff up to clear up the homeless. So really, what are they doing? It says President Trump signed an executive order that makes it easier for states to remove homeless encampments and force unhoused people into mental health or addiction treatment programs. Homeless rates have been steadily rising since 2017. A federal count found that more than 770,000 people are living in shelters or outside on a single night. Lisa Desjardins discussed more with David Ovell. So, what are they doing with these people first and foremost? But let me read this one real quick. President Trump's order lays out his goal clearly. He wants to move more people who are homeless into long-term institutions and hospitals, including involuntarily. He also plans a dramatic shift in federal funds away from programs that place people into housing first and instead pushing for tougher immediate requirements for treatment. So the stage is set. The stage is set for the persecution. So it's time to prepare our hearts and minds for temptation and for everything to be turned against the ministry. So, because the military is already in the streets. The homeless, it's only but so many so-called immigrants they could round up. So, Akim Akwaf, we got to understand what's really happening on a spiritual level. We got to really see what's going on. Let me get 2 Ezra 16. You got to read between the lines when you, because it's not for the home. They don't care about the homeless. It's not for the homeless. It's not all about Issachar in the northern kingdom. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse number 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So this is what the place is already set up. So just saying, hypothetically speaking, if it is for the homeless. Okay, what's the homeless? What eventually they're gonna set these people up? No, they're gonna kill these people off. Are these people gonna die, or they're just gonna disappear? So you got Alligator Alcatraz, you got the Guantanamo Bays, you got, and the damn man DeSantis, he said he wanted to make a whole bunch of Alligator Alcatraz. The military's in the streets. You got Alligator Alcatraz set up. You got laws being passed on AI. You got all these things coming to pass that line up with the scriptures. So when it happens, you can't be shocked. Now, Lord willing, it may not be us, but it will. The certain men and women will face this persecution. So you gotta see and read between the lines and see what's going on. What's this one? I don't even remember what this one is. Oh, it's just it's on the whitehouse.gov. It's the same thing. It's just from the whitehouse.gov. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit of it. It says, ending crime and disorder on American streets. Let me see. I'll start here. Nearly 2/3 of homeless individuals reporting having regularly used hard drugs like methamphetamines, cocaine, or opiates in their lifetime. An equally large share of homeless individuals reported suffering from mental health conditions. The federal government and the states have spent tens of billions of dollars on failed programs that address homelessness, but not its root causes, leaving other citizens vulnerable to public safety threats. So you see, I mean, they're talking about taking these people off the street. So that's what I meant to say. So they take all these homeless off the street, they clean them up, they send them back. They get houses, they're normal citizens again. They're gonna take these places, these long internment camps down. They're gonna take them down. No. They're for other uses. Right? This man thinks to be like the Most High. Wisdom is manifold, and all his tricks and his plots and these things that he sets up is for other purposes. It's not just for one thing. Right? But I'll get the last prophecy I got queued up. So NASA confirms this from livescience.com. NASA confirms that mysterious object shooting through the solar system is an interstellar visitor, and it has a new name. Experts have confirmed that the mysterious object hurling towards us, previously dubbed A11PL3Z, is an interstellar object. The cosmic interloper, officially named 3I Atlas, is only the third of its kind ever seen and will shoot past Earth later this year. So they say this thing is 7 miles long. Lord willing, this the Lord, man. Lord willing. But it says news of extrasolar entity, initially dubbed A11, broke on Tuesday, July the 1st, when NASA and International Astronomical Union both listed it as a confirmed object. It was first discovered in data collected between June 25th and June 29th by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System at Atlas, which automatically scans the night sky using telescopes in Hawaii. So you can read all this. But eventually, one day, this will be Yahushua. If this is not him, one day it will be. Why? Because we have the prophecy. And I'll end here. Revelation chapter 1 and verse number 7. Lord willing, this is edifying. You learn something. Right? Lord willing, the Lord puts a spirit on Akim to keep pushing this prophecy until this actually is Yahushua. But it will be. Revelation chapter 1 and verse number 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. What are the clouds? The angels, the chariots, the UAP, what the world calls UAPs. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. And it will come to pass. And I'll end off with this. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse number 5. After this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number. Hold on. From the top. 2nd Ezra 13 from the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he looked to turn his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Now, is the actual ocean? No. But when you go to the Hebrew word Shemayim, it's the waters. So Yahweh, and it's really just waters in the sky anyway. So this is the prophet Ezra seeing Yahweh come with the thousands, the millions, if you will, of angels, and the nations of the world coming to fight against Yahweh. But this is the big. This is what he's seen. And remember that chariot from LiveScience.com, which is updated as well. They're saying it's 7 miles long. So this is what Ezra is seeing. Verse number 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where about the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet durst fight. So the Lord is coming to fight for us. Yahushua said, I behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. So Shalom, Akim, Shalom, right? Shalom, endure this temptation, right? And before I end, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Malak Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.